Yo, what's up guys? Okay, so today we're playing more solo bedwars because content, that's about it. So if you guys have a spare second to hit that big red button down below that says subscribe, that would mean so much to me. And today we're talking about camp stories from my primary school and some of my high school, well, the one high school camp that I've been on. Because I thought that might be somewhat interesting, so off we go. In year 3, I went on a camp that was it wasn't very far away from school. It was like an hour and a half drive. Yeah, it's in the mountains, so it wasn't like very hot or anything, which was nice, very enjoyable. The food was really great at that camp. Actually, it was probably the camp that had one of like the best food that I'd had. We got hamburgers for lunch one day, which was really nice. And you know how when you go away on camp, if it's someone's birthday, they'll make like a cake or something or give you ice cream? Yeah, that happened. A couple of kids had their birthday on camp. And there was a giant swing there, which was the first one that I'd been on. And it was actually really fun because it was one of the ones where the person running it releases you instead of you having to pull that like little green cord that makes you drop. For those of you who don't know what a giant swing is, it's like 3 poles and there's string between 2 of them and you get attached into a harness and the rest of your group pulls you up really, really high and then you either pull a string or they'll release you and you just swing. So basically it's like you start up really, really high on a swing and then you just keep swinging until it wears out. Yeah, so that was really fun. I didn't go to the top because I'm a wuss. I went like halfway or 3/4 of the way and that was really fun. They had mini golf too, which I'm really bad at, so that was kind of a little bit boring for me because I didn't know what I was doing. You gotta remember, I was in year 3, so I would have been like 7 or 8. And then they also had, we had to do like a night hunt where you would go and look for letters in the forest. And at the end there was a bonfire, so we'd go to the bonfire and we toasted marshmallows. That was fun. In year 4, so one night they gave us chocolate mousse for dessert. And one of my friends was like, oh, hey, Scribble, I don't want this. And I was like, okay, sure, I'll eat it. So they gave it to me, and I ate it. And then another one of my friends was like, oh, hey, Scribble, I actually don't want this either. So they gave it to me, and I also ate it. And then we went back to our cabin to go to bed, and I crashed instantly. Like, I was fast asleep. The rest of my cabin stayed up on a sugar high, because logic. Yeah, they had a mirror maze at the year 4 camp and like capture the flag, which was really fun. I don't think it was capture the flag, it was some kind of game like that. And they had this activity where if you found some kind of thing like in the wild, for e.g. some kind of tadpole or something, you get points for it, and I had scored the highest and I was just waiting, and then this one kid runs back and is like, I found a frog! And you get the biggest amount of points if you find a frog, so he beat me, and I was really mad about that. Our year 5 camp was really terrible. Our cabin had ants all through it. It sucked. The food was also really trash. But we went bowling one night, and one of my friends just kind of pushed the ball, like put it down, and then like shoved time it stopped, and the bowling alley employee had to go and get the ball back. It was really funny. They had like a miniature garden there with all these little statues and things too, which was kind of cool. That was nice to look at. I took a lot of photos on that camp, so that was cool. Then, year 6. So, year 6, they had a giant swing there, and I actually did go to the top on that one. It was actually really fun. It was shorter than the one at the first camp that I went to, but it was still fun. We built rafts, and they had a zip line that went across a lake, and that was really cool. But there was no, like, fresh water. I think we got to fill up our drink bottles maybe once that whole camp. They just gave us, like, cordial instead because the water wasn't, like, suitable to drink. Not gonna lie, the cordial was pretty good, but it wasn't all that great. Year 7 camp. Now, this was probably the worst camp that I'd been on, like, worse than my year 5 camp. It was way too hot. Like, every day would have been about 40 degrees, and I think that's, I don't know how many... That might be like close to 100 Fahrenheit. Anyway, yeah, so it was so hot. And the cabins didn't have aircon. It was horrible. It was the worst thing. And in the middle of the night, and one of the nights I got woken up because there was 2 girls sleeping on the floor on towels, talking really loudly, and it was awful. They had this trampoline basketball thing that was kind of fun to play, and a leap of faith where you just had to like jump off a platform. But the food was also so horrible. It was the worst. But Yeah, that's my camp.